So we just left off and we're at a point where we're going to solve for system of three equations to be able to find A1R and then try to find A2, A3, B1, B2, B3. It's not B1, B2, B3, but B1, B7, and B19. So for the first equation, which is this one here, remember I called this one here star because it's a little bit different. So I'm going to first deal with 1 and 2. So in 1, like I said, I'm going to try to isolate my 6D. Should be easy enough because then I'm just going to get 6D equals to A1R minus A1. And then from this one here, I can actually factor my A1 out. So 6D is, oh my God, this is awful. 6D equals to A1 times R minus 1. I'll do the same thing for my second one. So for my second one, I should have 18D on one side. And then on the other side, I should have A1R squared minus A1. Now here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out A1. So I'm going to get 18D equals to A1 times R squared minus 1. So as you notice here, if I decide to divide the second equation by the first, my D's are going to fall, and so are my A1s, which means we'll be able to just solve for R quite easily. So let's do that. I'm going to have 18D divided by, so this is here, just to be clear, I'm dividing 2 by 1. So I'm getting 18D over 6D equals to A1 times R squared minus 1 divided by A1 times R minus 1. So this goes, this goes, this goes, this goes. On the top here is actually R minus 1 times R plus 1, which means that this is going to cancel out. So we don't even have anything at the denominator left. 18 divided by 6 is 3. Let's just write that. Equals to R plus 1. That's all that's left. R plus 1, that's a 1. Which means that R is actually equal to 4. Ta-da! So this is quite convenient because we only have one answer, and if we have R, we're basically in business. So now, if we have R, we need to find A1. These equations have D, which is kind of annoying, but this equation here at the top only has R and 1. So I will be able to use this equation to solve for A1. So let's do that. So to find A1, I'm going to have, so our equation was 84 equals to A1 times R squared plus R plus 1, which means A1 is going to be equal to 84 over, so R squared is going to be 16, 4 squared, plus R is 4, plus 1, so 84 over 21. That's pretty much 4, I think. A1 equals 4. Isn't that nice? Yeah, so we found our first term, guys. Now we just need to find the other two, which should be easy enough because in a geometric sequence, remember, an is always equal to an minus 1 times r. So a2 should be equal to a1, which is 4 times r, which is 4, 16. And a3 is going to be equal to, let's see, 16 times r, 4, 16 times 32, 64. There we are. All right, that's it. We're done.